Today's episode takes us to the tension point between dreams and disillusionment. In the age of hustle, hashtags, and the side gigs, we are faced with a bold question. Is entrepreneurship truly the path to youth liberation, or is it the new gospel of survival being sold to a generation that the system has failed? Joining me right now is someone whose insight cuts through theory and touches lived experiences. He's Associate Professor of Entrepreneurship and Head of Business Management at Miver Open University, Professor Femi Akinbola. Professor, welcome to the beam.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here today.
Yes, Professor. Let's go straight to it. You know, it's a very important, very crucial topic that affects the youth. So let's start from this place. You know, people are saying, hey, start your own business has become just another fancy way of saying the government has no jobs for you. What do you have to say to this?
Okay, great. It's not as if the government has no job for people, but the fact is entrepreneurship has become a creative response to complex challenges in society, as it reflects the gaps that exist in formal job creation. It also shows the resilience and innovation of Nigerians who refuse to wait for perfect conditions. For you to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to wait for a perfect condition for you to start. And there's no economy in the world where the government provides job for the totality of its citizens. There's nowhere in the world, including America, where we have millions of population, where government provides job for everyone that exists within the system. In as much as unemployment remain a thing of variation amongst nations, the extent to which people are unemployed in a particular country serves as a basis for which entrepreneurship should be an option for venturing into business. However, one of those ways of solving complex challenges has remained the issue of entrepreneurship, as it helps the nation and the society at large to curb societal menace, and because the gap that exists in formal job creation is getting wider every day. So not everyone will pick up the white collar job. Not everyone would have to, pick up employment letter in places. But as far as Nigeria is concerned, entrepreneurship shows the resilience and innovation of Nigerians who refuse to wait for perfect conditions. So only those who can take the bull by the horn and who can, close their eyes to challenges that exist within the systems will be able to venture into entrepreneurship.
Okay, so Prof, if I hear you, are you saying that that glorification, of the entrepreneurship is not just a distraction from the failed economic policies, and then it's not like we are romanticizing, the hustle culture and ignoring the harsh realities? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying, hey, it's not about just the failed economy? Is that what you're saying?
It's not as a result of failed economic policies. There's no government that has ever forced all citizens to go into entrepreneurship, but it is the strategic, creative response to a complex social challenge. One of those ways of responding to social challenges, economic challenges, is for people to get entrepreneurial in their mindset in order for them to have a way out of, crisis that exists within the economy. In as much as policy might not be perfect in systems, it is not a way of dodging responsibilities for government to take charge of what is necessary. I know that government has some things to offer with respect to providing policies that will enhance the creation of new businesses, and issues that have to do with taxation and other things that limit business opportunities are also being looked into as we speak. So it's not just a way of pushing aside the responsibilities of making policies work that makes the government to encourage people to go into entrepreneurship practices, but finding a way to ameliorate poverty and providing other job opportunities apart from the formal job that existed within the economy.
It's beautiful you said that. Let's get to the next question. Would it be that you teach entrepreneurship in a country, where access to capital is more of a myth? So the question is, how do we reconcile this? And then where do tools like AI, and evolving technology, where does it come into play, in all this whole dynamic?
Yes, AI has a lot to do when it comes to new business practice. The world has moved on, and it will interest you that a lot of SMEs are adopting AI as we speak today, because entrepreneurship equips people to take charge of their future. And if you want to take charge of your future, you should be able to know the next technology that is appropriate for you to be able to survive in the future that you are diving into. So while systems must improve, the person going into entrepreneurship practices must also learn to adopt technological tools like the AI tools that can enhance efficiency in terms of business practices. A lot of consulting firms are owned by individuals, and it will interest you that they adopt a lot of AI tools to be able to get things done properly. For example, it will interest you to just observe the amount of things that an ordinary application like Canva can achieve, with other AI tools like even a chat GPT, what it can do in the successful in running a successful business. We invite you to know what those tools can do. And where we are going now is the level of using the neural interactive AI to deal with real business problems and solving those problems while interacting with the AI tool. So therefore, it is advised that any entrepreneurial practice or any entrepreneurship venture that one would go into, it is expected that whoever is going to solve business must be looking at other appropriate technologies that is going to suit the scale of that business in order to take a quantum leap
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah, Prof. So a lot of young people will come to you and say, hey, we want to be entrepreneurs. We just want to do our own business. We want to see how we can thrive in this economy, even though the harsh realities are there. What are some of the myths, some of the bubbles that they come with that have to be set straight before they get right into business in this atmosphere, in this climate, of business we have in Nigeria, basically?
Okay. Now, we need to balance mindset and the challenges that are ahead. Now, people do think that going into entrepreneurship is always a bed of roses. It's not so. One thing is to be called a CEO. Another thing is for you to be able to know what you are doing as a CEO. In fact, if you are starting a new venture, I would advise that whoever is starting should first of all humble him or herself, not just take that position to be called a CEO first, because you are first of all a servant as you go into entrepreneurship practices. Now, just as you said, if you are going to start your own business, there are a lot of challenges that you face. You mentioned one earlier with respect to access to finance. Everybody will tell you they don't have access to finance. And it's just a normal thing, not having enough access to finance. Not as if finance don't exist, but most people don't have what it takes to access those finances. Again, another challenge that one would face is the challenge of starting up alone. Sometimes you will feel so lonely while starting up as a business person because it's a lonely journey. Nobody will join you to scale. Nobody will join you to see what you are not saying. So you have to first of all change your mindset and be ready to surmount all challenges that are ahead of you. And it is when you are able to surmount those challenges, then you can now say you have started a venture. Now, one thing is to start physically, another thing is for you to be able to surmount the challenges that's inside. And one of those challenges is access to finance. You have to make sure that you know how to draft proposal. You have to make sure that you have some certain skills that will help you to be able to have access to even to market, access to good customers, and access to resources so that you can leave a low level to a high level.
Indeed. So let's get straight to just in 1 minute. I want you just in 1 minute. What is the place of Western education in entrepreneurship today? In just 1 minute.
Oh, great. Yes. Now, when it comes to Western education and entrepreneurship, it's been discovered over time that those who have entrepreneurial education tend to do better than those without any entrepreneurial education. Now, one thing that the formal education will do for you when it comes to entrepreneurial practices is that it's going to help you to be able to refine your skills, and it's also going to help you to be able to refine your products when it comes to packaging. Now, the place of formal education in entrepreneurial practices cannot be undermined. You know, we have seen people who are entrepreneurs and they have a lot of prospects, even in their business. They make millions, they make billions. And at the end of affairs, they still have to recruit those who have formal education to be able to manage certain business process for them.